Oh shit, we're live! Welcome back. Welcome to the Authority on Wrestling podcast. Mike, what episode is this officially?
Episode 7.
Episode 7 officially.
7 on the 7th.
I have to ask you every week.
I know.
So, once again, I am your Director of Operations, Matty Mckeegs. We have a special guest returning this week. Our COO, Rich Tobin.
I can't be that special. It was only 2 weeks ago.
And we got, as always, Scumbag Mike.
Hello.
And it's still real to me, BG.
Oi.
So we're actually recording this episode on a Tuesday, which is new. So we just finished watching SmackDown, and as fate would have it, or writing would have it, AJ Styles is no longer going to main event WrestleMania, and Randy Orton is.
As of right now.
As of right now, which is pretty much
it's
locked.
set in stone now, yeah. But they've been playing with that one a whole bunch, messing with our emotions. But it seems like it's pretty much a
3-week
sealed
drag.
deal at this point. Yeah.
They had a lot of time to fill, so they needed to do some kind of roller coaster story.
Yeah,
with it,
they've
but
kept it interesting, and people have been guessing, trying to see if something else comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
So, and not to take, I don't know if anybody in this room is really happy with the outcome of this, but I don't want to take away from the match that we just watched.
No. It was a very good match.
It was a long match, excellent match. That was probably the hardest I've seen Orton work in quite some time, because AJ always demands that of his competitors. He made it a main event to see.
Do you think he goes up to him and he's like, "You give me a good match"? Do you think he actually demands it?
I doubt he calls shots, but he certainly...
You earn your fuck money tonight.
I really think that when Orton is put with someone that he has an interest in working with, that he knows he can do something with, he puts forth a lot of effort.
Yeah, steps up his game.
You can definitely see it, especially in some of the feuds he really enjoys. He's been doing good with Wyatt right now.
Boredom is totally a factor for him.
Oh,
you can totally tell when he's bored.
Yeah.
Like, towards the end of that Cena run, like, how many things did we see before in that feud?
It's because he's worked with Cena so many times that he is one of those guys where you can see when he actually cares about what he does. You can see why the company has invested so much in him for what, 15? I feel old now. It's like 15 years now that he's been like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like WrestleMania 20, I want to say, was his first big one.
Yeah, that's the big show for the U.S. title.
No, it was Cena.
Oh,
I'll say for Orton. Yeah, it was like Evolution versus The Rock.
And Sock and
Yeah.
Plus, he also tries to, in the past, maybe 5 or a little bit more years, I think he's intentionally slowed down his pace to further that, like, really calculated, like, slithery,
Serpent.
Yeah, slow-paced, slithery Orton, he's really calculated with his moves and his whatever choices he wants to make in the ring, which is, I guess it can be an excuse for being lazy. I don't know, I wouldn't call it.
I just hope he goes heel again. I just don't want him to be a face in this feud with Wyatt.
Well, I listened to an interview with him, and he was saying, that he really he's just like enjoying everything now, because I guess, I don't know how many kids now he has.
He's like married, like a happy relationship.
But he can tell he probably doesn't think that he's going to be around. Well, not that he's going to retire like tomorrow, but he's not going to be around for 10 more years, maybe not even like 5. So he said he really just, like, he even said, he's like, I don't need the title. I've had it so many times. He just is enjoying just doing, like...
So if he goes to Mania and does take the strap, is that 13? 14?
13 for him.
13?
I don't think that's...
I don't think he has a shot. I think that'd be the one match I could probably predict. He's not... No, he's not.
I hope he doesn't win.
Oh, there's another match you can predict.
Yeah.
But the match that we saw tonight, that we just saw, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, I think it was better than almost the entire card at Fastlane.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it was free.
Aside from the cruiserweight awesome battle, that was a great match.
I did think Strowman Reigns was good.
Yeah,
Which it must have been his new shoes. He was
rocking
sneakers.
shoes.
Yeah.
I definitely think that I got more of that enjoyment out of that match than I was expecting, because I thought those two were just going to be a mess. But they actually were just two big dudes that went at it, and it was exactly what you thought it was going to be, but a lot smoother and a lot longer. They kept up with the pace for, 20? I think it was like 15, 20-minute match.
Yeah,
so I was impressed.
And for big guys to go like that takes a lot. I mean, honestly, Roman is in great condition. He's the big guy, right? So he's a very large dude, and he could keep a match going for quite some time.
Big dog.
Yeah,
the big dog.
As much as people want to get on his case and everything, he does, because they kind of do force him a little bit. People to like him, but he really isn't bad in the ring. He could be better.
I mean, he's
not great on the mic.
He's kind of a one-trick pony, and even those moves he does looks kind of like lackluster. And obviously, I think the worst thing that he has weighing him down is the fact like he's getting such a disgusting push, like a blatant push to be the face, and complete disregard for how the fans really feel, and they just keep going.
I have
a dead horse.
I have an interesting thought. I wonder with
it's not his fault, man. Leave Brittany alone.
I wonder with how the whole Cena run did with over the 12 years, but it took him a long time to really be accepted. And as of now, people love watching John Cena now. I don't think there's anyone.
Well, Cena initially, when he had the Chan Gang thing, was super over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was a heel tech or tweener, whatever he was at that point in time. And then when he switched over to like Marine Cena, that's when everybody started turning on
the camo hat.
With that being said, my thought being, people really liked Roman Reigns when he was in the Shield, and people liked him probably when he was with the Shield. He was probably the favorite in there because Survivor Series.
I would argue that because I like new sneakers Roman Reigns.
Do you? Yeah. No, I meant in the Shield out of the three.
He didn't wear them last night, did he?
He didn't wear them. Yeah, I almost feel like he forgot his gear or something because it was so random. Well, because it matched the vest and stuff. But if you look like the way the pants were, like the pants, I don't think were tucked into the sneakers. They were like rolled up. So I don't know what happened there.
That's kind of like a style for the kids these days. Yeah. They're like borderline capris. They're like tapered in at the ankle, and like they show a little bit of sock going on. Like that's like
I like the new look Roman Reigns. I thought it was a great showing.
Well, hold on. I just want to get back to my point. Because you guys just completely started talking about shoes, which I didn't care about.
We're talking fashion here, Scumbag.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen. I wonder if they're doing with Roman Reigns what they did with John Cena, just in a more sped up way. Because it seems like he's already getting the mixed reactions that Cena was getting for a while, and it took Cena a while to get those reactions.
He still gets them.
I think Roman Reigns is gonna either turn heel or people are gonna just start adapting to him quicker than they took to Cena. I think eventually people will start liking Roman Reigns again. Nobody thought anyone would love Cena the way they do now, and
he should cheat to beat the Undertaker. That's what he need to do.
I think he should be a heel. I think he should be a heel before he goes in there.
Does he beat the Undertaker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I think
so. Undertaker's would be what?
22 and 2?
23 and 2.
No, he was 21-1 when he lost. So yeah.
So then he won 2 more matches.
Who did he beat? He beat
Wyatt,
and who did he beat last year?
Shane McMahon.
Okay, yep. Okay.
So he's 23-1 right now. He'll be 23-2. And I don't think the Undertaker has anything left to prove. I'm kind of sick of seeing him around.
Well, that's another reason why I think Wyatt's definitely going to get the win. Because what has Wyatt done at Mania? He lost to Cena.
He lost to Undertaker.
Yeah. Lost to Undertaker, and then he didn't even have a match. He just got rock bottomed and
beat up by rock bottom and Stone Cold and John Cena last year.
Talk about paying your dues, having to sweep the floors and before you can actually kind of shine and get a promotion. He deserves his WrestleMania moment for sure. Walk in there, champ, leave there, champ, and that's kind of like a pat in the back of thanks for all your. Taking the shit and
it doesn't happen often, and because WWE is so up on talking about rarities this day and age, that whoever won the Royal Rumble and went on to main event Mania doesn't win the title.
That's a rarity.
Usually they do.
Yeah. So well, bringing up Undertaker, it was an interesting segment last night with we had Undertaker return.
Yep.
And so we had. Strowman call out Reigns. Undertaker comes out, stares at Strowman, who then awkwardly leaves.
Yeah.
Now, there's 4 people in this room, and we've already had a little bit of preliminary discussion, and 3 of us think it's a really odd choice to take a guy that you've built for 4 or 5 months now, maybe longer, as this unstoppable machine that suplexes Christmas trees off the ramp, and then have him relent to a 50-year-old man who is balding with a beer gut and wearing mascara, and in need of a hip replacement. Now, the other one thinks that it was a sign of respect. So Scumbag, if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Well, because you guys were saying it like he was running scared of him. And I don't think he ran scared. I honestly don't. You guys said...
I'd go with that as far as, like, maybe he's not cowering.
You guys said he cowered away from a 50-year-old man with a beard. He did not cower away.
But
he stood face-to-face with him, nodded, and then backed away.
But here's the thing, though. If we're going to talk about, like, dominance and, like, alpha male kind of bullshit, right? Yeah. Strowman tears down anybody who's in his path. Or else, right?
Because he wants...
He doesn't give a shit
who
is in front of him. I don't care if it's this guy or this guy. I want my chance, right? And like, but it comes to Undertaker,
it actually sounds like it, actually.
And then he's like, okay, I guess Undertaker's the or else. I'll leave now.
Well, what about this too?
He didn't go up the ramp. That's why I thought it was coward. He couldn't even walk up the ramp
because he knew Roman Reigns was coming out.
He disappears into the crowd.
I don't think he cares about Roman Reigns coming out.
I wanna say this then. Maybe what if because he had the same respect for Wyatt, that's how he got introduced, and he did whatever Wyatt said, and Wyatt had powers and some mysticism to him, and he sees Undertaker and maybe thinks the same and kind of. So I'm not saying that's what it is. I just think
he's like an otherworldly figure that like it goes beyond just a tough guy. It's kind of like there's more depth to...
I think you guys are taking him as face value, as he should be a machine and just break anyone that steps in his way.
That's how they've been billing him.
I don't want to come off like a devil's advocate asshole.
Yeah.
But that's who you are as a person.
But before we went live with this, before we hit the record button, you went on about how much you liked that they weren't drawing the similarities between Wyatt and Strowman, and then you just brought that up to prove your point. You really are a scumbag. You really are a scumbag.
That's the only thing I could think of with the mysticism reason. I honestly think that there's more to the Strowman character than you guys are saying it as. You guys seem to be just saying, like, he's a monster, he's not thinking, he should just destroy anyone who goes in his way. And I think he's smart enough to know that he should have respect for Undertaker and stepped away. It wasn't like he ran away and he nodded to him. He looked at him, made eye contact, nodded.
That's true.
He didn't make
a back away.
I know what you're saying. I can kind of get back on you.
It wasn't like
that one.
It wasn't like what's your...
My whole point is I kind of look at this way, I go, it just kind of is a like, what's the point? Like, so if they were just going to do Undertaker and Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah.
What was the point of having Strowman come out and be like, I want Roman Reigns, and then have that weird, awkward moment in the ring with Undertaker? Why not just have either Reigns come out and say, I want to call out Strowman, and then Undertaker comes out? Or have Undertaker just come out because everyone knew he was there. No, you can't hide anything anymore now. The internet. So we all knew Undertaker was there.
I agree with you on that.
So why not just have Undertaker come out, like, just skip the whole Strowman part and have it. Like, what was the point? I don't understand the point.
The only reason that Roman wouldn't have called out Strowman
because he won
was because he won, and he had to win to make him look strong so he can go against Undertaker at WrestleMania. I agree with you. There was no point to Strowman being in there. If that's the point, then yes, I agree.
Well, at first I didn't know what I was like. Wait, I don't know. Is maybe Undertaker was actually going there for Strowman? I thought.
Yeah, that's why the fans got real intense for it. Maybe it's also just a way of gauging the fan reaction to that. Maybe they could throw Strowman into the match so that Undertaker could do less work.
Has there been an Undertaker triple threat at WrestleMania?
There's been a handicap match.
It was the Fatal 4-Way, right, at 2000?
At 2000 he was against... He wasn't at 2000. He wasn't in a match at 2000.
Oh,
in 15...
It was Rock, Mankind...
Big Show,
Triple H and Big
Mankind.
Show.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought he was in that one for some reason.
Yeah. No, he returned, like, right after that. At, like, the next pay-per-view. He interrupted like an Iron Man match between Triple H and The Rock. That's when he came back as the biker Undertaker. First time,
American Badass.
American Badass. What a great gimmick that was.
Hey, let me throw something in real quick. Did you guys catch that that weird music thing too? Like when they hit somebody's music, I want to say it was Strowman started off in the ring, correct?
Oh, they hit Roman Reigns and then
they hit Roman Reigns music for like 2 seconds. Yeah. People were just about had enough time to go, oh shit, time to boo, boo, and then all of a sudden the gong hit, the bell, and then all of a sudden it's Undertaker that comes out. Do you think that was like...
That was intentional.
You think they're trying to be creative as far as like, all right, we're gonna like make them think that Roman's coming out, but then boom, catch him off guard with Undertaker. Or do you think they really fucked up and pressed like Roman's song too early and was like,
no, I think Triple H bought the music guy again.
I think
Remember when he bought the music guy?
No, I think you have to queue up everything because the Titantron was Roman Reigns at first too.
Was it?
Yeah, and then Undertaker.
Yeah, no, it seemed intentional. It was
intentional.
weird, but yeah.
It was like, oh, here comes Roman Reigns, and then for
I
whatever
liked
reason,
it because that made it. I mean, that added the surprise factor.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's what we really kind of crave these days because everything seems like it's too predictable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can't recall them ever doing something like that. If that was like an intentional thing, like.
Well, when Triple H bought the music guy.
The only
Such
thing
an
about it,
obscure reference.
The music guy bought in.
it's shaping up. I know you guys are probably gonna have a show close to WrestleMania where you
We're on
discuss
show every week.
we discuss predictions
Oh, yes,
on
yes,
WrestleMania.
yes.
But the top three it looks good. Like I'm okay with it, but the big three matches are almost kind of predictable if you think about it. Like we already are saying that Reigns gonna beat Undertaker. We already know that.
Well, that's not guaranteed. But we're assuming.
We're already assuming Lesnar's gonna beat Goldberg.
Absolutely.
And we're already assuming that Wyatt is gonna beat Randy Orton. So you've got to go into your biggest event where the majority of people already know the end of the
But how many main events of WrestleMania have you known was going to happen? Like Daniel Bryan, you knew he was going to win the title. Most of the time, you kind of get an idea of who's going to win.
What's the last main event you got wrong? I know which one I got wrong.
The Triple H. Oh wait, hold on. I was going to say Triple H Sting. That one threw me off.
That wasn't the main event though. That wasn't.
No, that wasn't. So what was the main event last year?
Main event was Triple H, Roman Reigns. You knew Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I knew Roman Reigns was going to
The
win.
year
Before that, it was.
What WrestleMania was that?
That was 32.
31. That was Lesnar Reigns.
That one. I got that one way wrong.
But we knew he was in a cat. Oh no, we all thought.
No, Seth Rollins came out and made it a triple threat and then won.
That
triple threat match. That was amazing.
Fucking beautiful.
The one I had no idea was the Miz. The Miz beat John Cena in the main event.
Wait, John Cena.
That was beat up John Cena.
But Mania is not. It's a general audience show.
Yeah.
It's that show is like one of the. It's probably the one show that is not built exclusively to us.
Nope.
Yeah,
It's not like I mean
Royal
Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam more cater to us than Mania does because Mania is like a giant pageant, event basically.
Yeah.
One of the topics I really want to talk about, not this week, is
Zack Ryder winning.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, I think we all had that.
Yeah.
It was like that was a great reaction. Yeah,
one of the topics I want to talk about eventually is I really want to get into the subject of is predictability in wrestling bad? Like your immediate answer would be yes, it's bad. But like knowing that Wyatt was going to win the Elimination Chamber, everyone kind of knew that.
Exactly,
but it wasn't bad.
Here's the thing. I think they played it out pretty well. In order for him to give you that thought of like, well, maybe it's not his night.
Yeah.
And then he does come up, and then you go, all right. Also, it did go through.
Yeah.
I think if he were the last one to come out of the chamber, kind of thing, and like there was only him and like one or two other people, and you go, oh yeah, it's super super obvious. But the fact that he came out was like he was like second or something like that, or
third.
Yeah, he wasn't the first one to come out of the elimination chamber, right? He was the following. Yeah, that's good because he that gives plenty of time for other scenarios to play out, so it keeps you guessing.
Yeah.
So at least they, as it unfolded, you kind of guess a little bit, but like you said, the thought was he's going to win. The outcome was he won, but we were still happy.
Yeah.
It was predictable.
And then when something's not predictable, like everyone thought Charlotte was going to win at Fastlane, and then she didn't, it was kind of a surprise to everyone, and I don't think it came off the same way. Like I don't think that surprise worked as well as...
It didn't work as well because I think a lot of people are on the same page as like, yeah, we like Bayley in the fact like she's like a kind girl and like she's living her dream, that's cool, but she's still kind of green in a lot of different areas and like still kind of needs work. And for her just to kind of like Charlotte, all of that momentum comes to a halt because of that.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been happier.
I thought it was a waste.
It was a waste to have her lose her streak at...
How much bigger would have been to lose it at WrestleMania? Because it's actually started at WrestleMania, because that's where she won last year.
Dude, no, it started before that.
Well, around that time.
Yeah, I was going to say, because she's...
That's when she won the women's title. She won the Divas title.
In my opinion, that's just to give her the WrestleMania moment. I think that's what they're doing. Like,
she already... I'm so sick of Charlotte being in the main picture of the women's team because it's been over a year because she had the Divas title before she had the women's belt.
Yeah.
So we just did this streak thing, and then they've been playing hot potato with the belt on Raw, and
And SmackDown.
Bailey might not have been the person to dethrone the pay-per-view streak. I'm just happy it's said and done with, though, because I was so sick of hearing about it. And it was a dumb streak.
I think it's... The only reason why I would say that Bailey was the right person to do it is because character-wise, I think character-wise that works the best. I feel like the younger audience, all the younger girls, especially in the audience, right, they back Bailey. They love the underdog story. That she's one of us. Like, she's a real person. That's great. And then you have someone like Charlotte Flair, which is like she's always the evil one who's just always the dominant one in charge and like has like the family history and all that stuff. And it's like it was like two polar opposite characters, and it's like the underdog dethroned like the bad guy, which is good.
It works because I kind of liked it because I was watching that match and I want to say like, yeah, it was the match, and every time like Charlotte would like slap Bailey, she would like scream at her like, "You don't belong here. You're just a fan. I'm born into this. Like I'm royalty. You're just a fan." Like so that kind of was like
it's like Bailey's like average Joe peasant.
Yeah.
You work for me kind of thing, and it's like Charlotte is like I run this shit. I am king shit. Who are you?
And I've made the comparison a few times. They're building her up to be the John Cena of the women's division with regards to merch and being a role model for kids. Because this division isn't really
intro music.
It's not a women's division right now. They want this to be a big movement to inspire young girls and whatnot. I mean, it's a division. It's supposed to be looked at as equal footing the men, and I think they've done a good job of establishing that. Mm-hmm. But they want it to go further than that, and they want it to be kind of like groundbreaking in that sense.
Sure.
And Bailey can usher that in because, I mean, look when they cut to the crowd. They all have those stupid Bailey Thunder sticks. I mean, she moves a ton of merchandise. A ton.
Her colors are all over that.
Yeah.
Those arenas.
So I think it makes sense. I think they need to move off of Charlotte being in the title picture after Mania for a little bit of time. I know the roster's not stacked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because she's definitely in it for Mania.
Well, here's another thing. Something to give more dimension and throw some new storylines out there would be the draft that is supposedly supposed to happen shortly after Mania.
June.
So that could really shake things up a bit, give her the different competitors, different scenarios to play out, and who knows, maybe she goes to SmackDown, maybe she tries to go for the SmackDown Women's title belt, and in which she's never carried, right? So that can, but here's the thing, she is a top-notch athlete, and in surprisingly a short amount of time, because right, like she was never. And like her brother never even got to see her wrestle once, right?
Yeah.
Or that's what she says, and I believe. I mean, I buy it because she's always in tears whenever she says it, so it's from the heart. It's a real deal. And just for that fact alone, that she's like one of the best in the ring, like if not the best female athlete in the ring right now. I mean, it'd be foolish not to keep her in the title picture if she's just got so much going for her. All these other ones, I mean, you have some girls that have strong points. Like I've said it before, some have strong points in different avenues, but I don't know if too many of them have that total package like she does. She adds prestige to it. She has the skill set in ring. She has, for the most part, the skill set on mic. She plays the heel character wonderfully. Yeah. She literally, when she walks out, you can just tell it. She comes out there with such a control and poise, and she's been there, done that, and she's got it. Sometimes you get people on the mic, and it's just like, oh boy, they put Naomi in the mic, despite her in-ring ability. Like, oh god, here we go.
Becky
Bliss.
Lynch.
Yeah, Becky Lynch or Bliss. He just
Mickie James.
Mickie James is like
was
the
terrible on the
pacing
mic,
is awful, and like
I think she's good when she's a face.
And Sasha is good sometimes when her speech impediment thing doesn't get the best of her.
Yeah,
but like. I mean, that's pretty much who else do you have?
But, no, the master of the microphone is Nikki Bella.
I was just going to say.
She's the best one.
And you know what? Amazing.
I will say this. The one thing that aggravated me about Charlotte last night was when she was on commentary and tried to get over the phrase, I won fair and square.
Oh, no.
I thought that was terrible.
Yeah, you know.
And I cringed when I was watching it. I was like, oh,
that's cringe-worthy stuff right there.
Stop it.
Is anyone else, speaking of that match, is anyone else getting sick of Sasha at all?
Yeah, I think they need to turn her heel. That's what she does her best.
Yeah,
for.
I was gonna say, where she stands right now, as far as like whatever role she's playing right now, it's like incredibly lackluster and stale, and it's like there's like nothing going for her. She just merely exists right now, and like, hey, I'm the friend of her, but like she's capable of being like a powerhouse.
Yeah.
As far as character goes, or whatever kind of momentum she's gonna have, winning streak, or being an intimidating competitor. But like, yeah, she's like Nia Jax for the most part got the best of her, and like they kind of dropped that kind of a little bit right now.
Why isn't Nia
Jax
Jax in the title picture?
I think she will be added to it because a triple threat now next week.
Yeah.
I kind of see. They're almost copying the Jericho Owens story, just with Sasha and Bayley kind of a little bit, aren't they? Like I can see a turn coming, like very strong.
What if they had like another best friends like festival? And
Wait
a minute, this seems familiar.
Oh, to deviate just briefly, did anybody watch the Raw Talk special after the?
I didn't get to. I totally slept.
Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh, he did it.
Was on fire. He comes out in that special, and they mentioned something about Nia Jax.
He doesn't have to pass drug tests.
And
right?
he
said something like, "Oh, a Buick hit her, and the car gets damaged," or something about something about a car hitting her.
Yeah,
and the car. I forgot what it was. I have to look.
And then he was talking to Bayley. I think it was Bayley he was talking to about. He's like. You have the championship, and, like, I have this dog, and I put him out my backyard, and every once in a while a raccoon will come over the fence try to attack him and stuff. And, like,
what's that for Bayley's championship?
It didn't make any sense.
He was just rambling?
Renee,
shit-faced?
Renee Young was just sitting there, just like, what the hell is this? Like, what is going on right now?
The best was when we went to, I forgot, I went to, I think it was a Raw. And we were like, all right, let's all go try to find wrestlers at this bar. And we went to this bar.
Oh, no, that was SmackDown.
Oh, it's SmackDown,
yeah.
And the only person that showed up was Jerry the King Lawler.
He was there for drinks, baby. He was ready to go. That was excellent.
He's my MVP for the week. So we mentioned earlier, Sasha's getting... Her face character's getting a little tired, lacking direction. On that subject, Enzo and Cass. I know we've talked about this a few times.
And we can run right through this.
I don't get what they're doing. Like
I don't think creative gets what they're doing.
They come out and they start a beef with a face tag team when they're supposed to be a face tag team, and I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on.
I think it's a sloppy mess what they're doing right now. The only thing I can think of is that Enzo is eventually going to run his mouth. I think one of us had mentioned this before. Run his mouth too much and say that and he's just going to get into so much trouble, and Cass is going to get sick of protecting him.
The only issue that they have with this, and it's probably the only reason why they haven't done it yet, is because if you go to any event, you're going to see thousands of kids wearing their stuff.
Yeah,
like the fake hair, the fake Enzo hair, and the shirts, and the screaming what they scream. So they are very popular with the kids. Or else I think they would have already done that. Because I'm not saying Enzo's not good, but you could tell that Cass is probably out of the two of them has the most potential
in ring
to do. Well, no, I mean the most potential as like a
total package.
Yeah, you know how much Vince loves.
Tall dudes.
Big guys.
Vince loves him, so that's like the perfect Vince guy. He's like, looks like Edge, but it's even bigger.
Remember that Shawn Michaels, that Edge guy we had? But bigger. He's 7 feet tall. You can't teach that.
Enzo's
colossal.
Enzo's ring
Look at him.
is awful too.
The fun,
he just gets the shit kicked out of him the entire time.
Have you noticed that as in recent days, Enzo's actually been getting some boos? Like. He went from being like when they first showed up, people were like, "Oh, these are the guys from NXT. They're awesome, hilarious, entertaining."
Yeah.
And then they really just run out of steam for the most part, and people are really bored of them.
Because on NXT you saw them once every other week or so. Now you see them every week, sometimes twice a week, and it's
exhausting. So they're almost a one-trick pony. They're played out. They were the flavor of the week, and at this point, everyone's seen the shit work that Enzo does in the ring, and he'll come out for a spiel, and people are just like, maybe they'll go along with like the quotable stuff.
Yeah.
But even when he's like trying to get like some random jokes over and shit like that, like
He called Cesaro pepperoni nipples last night. Called him little Cesar.
I missed that. I missed that. I had to talk about the
yeah, you doing little pepperoni nipples, little Cesaro, because he was making a little Caesar's reference. He's terrible.
I will say, when he bumped into him and he spilled the coffee, I was dying laughing. I don't know.
But yeah, no, there's like a lack of direction with them right now, and who knows what's gonna happen. You know what? It's Mania season. After Mania, after the first month or so following Mania, I think there's gonna be a lot of changes. You name it, the draft in June, other teams and other individuals getting a call up, switching around people. The dynamics will change, but it's certainly been stale and like really lacking direction. Just like Slash, that was a good segue. For the past few months.
Oh, I know it was.
That's what Mckeegs does.
Yeah, I don't know with the Enzo thing. It's really weird to me, and I don't want to beat a dead horse because we have brought it up the last few weeks, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. So the other we kind of skirted over it because Mike's gonna have an aneurysm, but we had a pretty big title.
Oh, here we go. We're going there now.
Change hands at
rapidly
at Fastlane.
Rapidly.
In about 30 seconds, and we had the return of the Gift of Jericho. And
before we get into this match, I just want to say
there's
so
much passion coming out.
This is a mini nitpick, but they rang the bell before they did the announcements of the champions. Before they rang the bell and then they said, in this corner it's Kevin Owens, or in this corner it's Goldberg. Sure. So the match should have been longer than 30 seconds, but then they re-rang the bell as soon as Kevin Owens got in the ring.
Owens told him.
Yeah,
he was like, ring the bell, go ahead, ring the bell, ring the bell, when he was actually pumped up and ready to go, following by the music hitting.
Jericho.
And
it's aggravating because Kevin Owens the past 2 weeks said, I'm going to be smarter than Goldberg, I'm going to outsmart him. And he should have. I know it's all story, but this is one of the things he should have, in storyline, known that Jericho was going to somehow get involved and cause something.
I do think that was kind of dumb that he was a sucker for that. Like you feel like
he
wanted to fall for that. He wanted to be like no, I'm not falling for this shit. Yeah. Like go ahead, come down the runway. I'm going to concentrate on my match. But he shouldn't be one to be like, oh no, he's here right now.
And not only
be distracted by that.
Yeah, and not only that,
him look stupid. He was too smart.
Jericho getting involved in the match would have got Owens to keep the title. So I don't know why he even cared.
Yeah, that was.
It was poorly done, and that's what aggravated me.
Yeah,
I knew that they had to do a short match, but there was
to preserve Goldberg for the longevity of it. Let's make sure he gets to Mania. You can't have him do more than one or two moves.
Yeah, he could hurt himself. Yeah. He took an F5 on Monday night and was sweating bullets.
So, we have to talk about the fact that obviously anyone who's any kind of wrestling fan knows that Owens has been in the business from the ground up, passionate since day one. As a kid, wrestled, and all the way till now, finally made it, earned it through and through. And we know Goldberg's position and what he's done, which is kind of very little as far as striving to get there. He was given it right away, had it for as long as it was relevant, and then he just, see you later, I'm out, and that's it. So obviously there was a lot of animosity between passionate Owens and privileged Goldberg, I guess we could say. And it was so evident in the ring whenever they were just locked eyes on each other for all it took was 2 seconds, and you could just see
the animosity between them.
Owens is genuinely fucking bummed out that he really has to go ahead and drop this friggin' belt to him. And Goldberg's like, I don't give a shit, kid. Cry all you want. It's coming to me. And the banter back and forth in the ring, some of it was audible and there was clearly shit talking, and some of it wasn't. But you could just tell that it was genuine passion-driven words back and forth, rather than just, we're in a match together, so I'm going to just fake talk shit, and it was right from the heart.
When did Goldberg leave WCW? Because I didn't watch the last year and a half.
I think 2001-ish.
2001 he went out of business.
Yeah, I don't think he was with it at
he
the
wasn't.
end.
No, he wasn't there. He came. I know from what I listened, I mean, what they said on
I
Fastlane
think
was his
he
last match in WWE was 03.
So
Yeah, I
I'm
remember
pretty
that.
sure. I'm pretty sure this is his. He debuted in the very end of '96.
No,
the
it
beginning
was
of
later
97.
than that. I think it was probably the end of '97.
Well,
Okay.
what was the big Starcade where he beat Hogan? What year was that?
He didn't beat Hogan at Starcade. He beat him on Monday Night Raw. He lost to Kevin Nash
No,
at
no.
Starcade '99.
No, he beat. Oh my God! No, I'm thinking of never.
That was
mind.
the
I'm
taser.
thinking of
Remember Scott Hall?
Sting, I'm thinking of Sting beating Hogan.
Oh yeah, that was
Okay.
'97.
Yeah,
And that's what I was going to
Okay,
say too.
so-
Is like, how
so-
long after the taser incident, where his streak came to an end, did he finally vanish?
All right, so I think here's what I think.
Think
This
about,
is what
can
happened.
we just
All right.
stop on that for a second?
The taser incident.
Someone they had built this whole streak up, and then someone was like, "Oh, you know how we should end it? Just have Scott Hall come out,
Drunk as fuck, probably
dressed
still.
like in a
Security.
security guard. Like no one's gonna know it's Scott Hall. He's wearing a security guard outfit,
And taser
He just-
with a real taser.
and the sound it makes is so ridiculous.
It's like, oh,
So in middle
So-
school, when everybody had the South Park characters as wrestlers, do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
do I remember
Yeah,
that?
so we
Who
used to
killed
tape-
Kenny.com?
We
Remember that?
used to tape it to our agendas. Mine was Scott Hall with the taser. It's a South Park guy. It's
Amazing.
taped to the front of my agenda.
I probably have that printout. Like, I used to go to the library back when I didn't have a computer at home because it was olden days, okay? And I would go to the library and pay like 10 cents or whatever a copy. And I would print out every damn
sell
friggin'
'em?
South Park wrestling card just to have them. And I would and they didn't even have a color printer, so I would color them with my own friggin' markers and shit. Like,
Oh man, that's dedication.
I have an archive of just who killed Kenny
So-
friggin' wrestling.
So did Goldberg? Because I'm trying to
Oh, so
remember the end of the.
so then he must have debuted in '97, wrestled until '90.
Well, he went out. 99 was when he went out with the arm when he bashed the window open, right? And
Yeah,
he was out
but
most
he
of
lost
the
the
year.
title in '99 also, I think.
And then what did he come back for a little bit in 2000?
He was gone for a year.
Well,
He came back at the end of 2000 and was gone by the beginning of 2001.
Well, think about this. He's the one who ended Bret Hart's career, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
Bret Hart says that he
Yeah,
gave
that
him-
was in 2000. That was the end of 2000.
Okay, so think about, when did Bret Hart? When was the screw job? What year is that?
97.
Okay, so Bret Hart was in WCW for 3 years.
The screw. Oh, he couldn't show up on WCW until '98. He was the reason Sting beat Hogan.
Oh, he was the ref or the
He was
timekeeper.
the, he came out. He came out.
He came out and just did a false count and somebody authorized.
Anyway, long story short.
Yep.
Long story
That
short,
passes.
Goldberg has in-ring experience of about 4 or 5 years. If you count 90, yeah. If you count 97, 98, 99, then he was out for a year somewhere in there. A little bit in 2000, and then he was back for like 9 months in WWE.
No, I thought he did a full year.
Maybe a full year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, about four and a half years.
And Kevin Owens has to just completely, for lack of better terms, job to him.
Well, I look at it this way. I thought about this last
Because it
night.
wasn't even a match.
Oh no, Sunday
Once
night.
again.
I thought about this Sunday night. I was like, all right, say I was a wrestler, right? Or say we were wrestlers.
Okay.
And we were
We're
just,
wrestlers.
just like Kevin Owens, fans our whole lives, right? If they came up to me and they were like, all right, Rich, we need you to drop the title. You're gonna lose it to just think about someone you watched growing up,
Yeah.
like just pick anyone, like
Triple H.
Oh, I would just lay down and let him win, you know. Say Bret Hart. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah.
Say it, I'd be like, oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I've watched Bret Hart my whole
Kevin Owens
life. I
didn't
would
watch.
love.
Yeah,
I would
Kevin
love
Owens
for
has
Bret
talked
Hart.
about that. He
I,
didn't watch
I,
WCW
I
ever.
completely get that, but yes, you're correct. He didn't care for the WCW product at all whatsoever, and when he did see Goldberg, he thought he was like a knockoff Stone Cold, and he was like, "Screw this guy, I'm over it." And then obviously growing up and being in the business, and you really get to the point of like what Goldberg was in the business, and you're like, "Oh, fuck that guy."
Well, I guess my point is kind of
No,
makes
I know what
sense
you're saying,
because Bret Hart, say Bret Hart, he was there for like 27 years.
When you look,
I know what you're saying though. Like, it's someone that has that much prestige, I guess, right? Like, he's Goldberg was undeniably like the biggest powerhouse that almighty WCW had, and even had a good. It was short, really, really short, but a good run when he was in WWE. You'd think that like you'd be like, okay, I understand. Like, pay my dues. I had a good run right now. I won't pull the CM Punk thing and cry about it. Let me just let it happen, and my time will come again. But at the same time, I can definitely understand being like, I really have to give up all my momentum that I've had this entire time to this guy who's like, you know what? Maybe I'll come back and fight after a video game, right? Oh, really? You do want me to come back and fight after a video game?
It's like the
Sure,
storyline
okay.
from that Rocky
Like
movie.
that guy.
Remember
Yeah.
the Rock? He's like, "Oh, the video game says I can do it. I can do it. I'm coming back."
Yeah,
But
literally. I can understand
think about
being
it
bitter, but I can understand your
logistically,
aspect,
too.
Yeah.
Totally.
These guys are just doing a job. If you went to work and somebody said, "Hey, go run this plate to table 53," you'd do it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, depending
go
on
drop
whose
this
table
belt
it
to fucking Goldberg.
Yeah.
You do
You-
it.
I had creative
But-
control when I was a waiter.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not just a job to those guys. It's absolutely like no one goes to no one wakes up and goes like, I'm gonna run the shit out of that.
No.
Of these things, you know, like
No, but I
people
think
wake
in
up
their
and
head
go,
they have to be
I'm gonna-
like, listen, it's the job, and if they tell me to do it, I gotta do it.
Right. There was a great
and
article.
that's why he did it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
But
remember who.
obviously, you can sympathize with him for being.
I'm
bitter.
trying to remember who wrote it. It was around Rumble came out, and it was a really awesome article. And basically, the guy that wrote it said, as wrestling fans, we demand the illusion of competition in place of actual competition. So basically, like, Super Bowl happens. Let's say that the game didn't go the way it went, and like the Patriots just squashed out the Falcons or something like that. That's who they played, right? Falcons. Yeah. Let's say they just it's complete annihilation. Patriots fans are all jacked up about it because in actual sports, people love landslide victories. Mm-hmm. But with wrestling, it doesn't work that way because we actually want the ebb and flow and the back and forth of it. And that's the crux of the Goldberg problem is the first time it was a swerve, we didn't know it was coming. And that was cool.
With the Lesnar thing.
Yeah, because it was like, oh shit, he took Lesnar out. Holy shit, this is awesome.
That was a huge shock.
But now you've seen it. I mean, did Goldberg even last a full 3 minutes in the Royal Rumble? I don't even think so.
I don't think so.
Well, he came in at 28,
Yeah.
Something like that.
and then he got thrown out. But Undertaker threw him out. Undertaker was 29.
Literally, the only thing worse than a part-time wrestler is a part-time wrestler who doesn't wrestle full matches. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
At least
Like,
Batista wrestled full matches.
Lesnar, people will complain that Lesnar's not there from us, but when he goes out there, he puts on a fucking show.
Yeah,
He really does.
It's borderline like celebrity status at this point. Like
Goldberg's out there.
It's like a David
Goldberg
Arquette.
can't even hit the spear
Yeah.
properly. He hit Owens in the chest.
Yeah.
It looked like a shitty spine buster.
It's terrible. Like I don't want to talk about Goldberg anymore. I'm done with him.
It's almost
It's
like
disgusting.
It's almost like he basically said to them, like, "I'm not coming back to do this unless you give me the belt." And they were like, "All right, I guess."
Yeah. But yeah, so let's move on to something that we all can agree on and makes us happy. Austin Aries, magnificent package.
Yeah.
Yeah, that package was a beautiful
Oh,
thing.
that was a magnificent package.
Not only that, but the promo that he did. I wouldn't really call it a promo. It was
More or less.
yeah, because
The
he
interview gone rogue.
interviewed Neville and was asking him questions, and Neville. I like that Austin Aries got the fans.
Heel Neville.
Yeah.
Heel Neville is something to behold.
We're talking about the Aries package right now.
Well, you know, it takes two to tango, right? What made that whole thing work was heel Neville being genuinely really heel and like entering his space and like you know Aries was doing the whole like, oh, you're spitting on me, bud, like why don't you step away a little bit, like a whole bunch was like, all right, dude, like get out of my face, like I'm just trying to interview here. And heel Neville was like relentless and like letting him know like I'm the king shit and you are nothing, don't think that you and like with that much of like entering Austin Aries' like personal space, that's when it was that the glasses came off.
That's
he was no longer Ringo.
Oh, no more.
He took the glasses off after Neville threatened to break his orbital socket again. And then he took his glasses off and you can see a little bit of the scar.
I wanted to go back and find a text I sent to you guys because I think I said like maybe a month and a half ago, maybe that long. I think I wrote to you guys. I said Neville is the best booked champion right now on the entire roster.
I do remember that you said
like,
that.
Probably still is.
Like literally, like think about it. You had AJ Styles losing to
Owens
Ellsworth.
isn't champ.
You had AJ Styles losing to Ellsworth when he was champion. You had Owens having to have Jericho help him every single match, and you had Neville just destroying people like clean too. Like he doesn't even cheat really, right? Like,
Well, no, AJ. AJ was good at the time.
well, no, he was losing to like Ellsworth.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you said that already.
No, that's true. I remember that text.
And you said you're like, yes, you're right. You're like, yes.
it's cool though because he's still got that same momentum too, and he's still like he's the king of the cruiserweights.
Yeah, it's heel music now too, which I love. It starts off. It's kind of the same, but it's heel now. Like you can.
Did that like Game of Thrones intro. How great was it that Austin Aries was immediately fired from the commentating position?
Yeah, he's done.
Austin Aries is normally out here. He's no longer doing commentary now. I thought that was great though, because so like a week or two ago, whenever he started airing this package, I was like, what the fuck? There was no date on it, nothing. He was just like, here's this video of me. And then this week when he started going, he's like, oh, it's a beautiful package. Like, look at this. I was like, this is great. This is wonderful. I could watch this all day. So I was really happy they went the way. I'm really excited, too, because the Cruiserweight division needs all the fucking help it can get.
Dude, it's seriously, it's got some steam now. And
with Gallagher, Tozawa, Brian Kendrick's doing all right, Neville and Austin Aries, those 5 guys can bring it into the...
Kendrick has been great. It's just a matter of people buying into him or not.
Yeah.
But he's doing his role, just as he should.
Absolutely.
You got, like Tozawa.
I love Tozawa, man.
Tozawa, they're making him look strong in every single match that they're putting him in right now, which he puts on clinics.
I love Neville and Austin Aries, but Tozawa might be my favorite cruiserweight right now.
Really?
Oh, that German suplex.
He is awesome. Sick.
Yeah. I love trying to get people to do that, which is cool. He's really trying to get the crowd engaged. And then, like Neville, obviously he's under... Dude... Thank God for Neville coming back and like putting him in the cruiserweight division and like putting the strap on him.
Yeah.
And making him heel.
I actually love that he doesn't hit the red arrow that often anymore. Because when he first came on, he did it in the
Fastlane, right?
And he was hitting it from the same post every time. It was like if you're watching on TV, it was the left rear post by the ramp.
Yep.
And it was just like, okay, he's gonna do it now, you know. And that move is so cool to have him do it all the freaking time and telegraph it like that. Sure. It takes away from it. So I'm really happy that he doesn't do it that often.
Well, they gave him that submission now, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of looks like the rings of Saturn, right? Perry Saturn's.
And I think
they called it that. They called it the rings of Saturn? Monday. Monday.
I'm digging the Neville as a heel thing. I think it's really good.
And that match at Fastlane with he and Gallagher, we didn't really talk about that much. We don't have to go too far into it, but I think we can all agree that
it was match of the night.
It was match of the night. It told a great story. It was I think it was just the right amount of time where it wasn't too short of a match, wasn't too long of a match, didn't drag out. But they're I gotta say I love Gallagher's style. His character and the way his style of wrestling go together so perfectly, and it's fun to watch because he's like a trickster, and like when you think you've got his number, like he puts one over on you, and you're like, oh boy,
I think he's the best thing until Austin Aries officially starts competing in the division. I think he's the best thing they got right now, and who knows, he still might be.
And the cruiserweight match got This Is Awesome chant.
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
You know who really could benefit from going into the cruiserweights? Apollo Crews.
I think he's too big. No. He's too heavy, isn't he?
No, I think he's 210 right now. He can cut 5 pounds.
They need to move Kalisto over before they move Apollo Crews over. Because that's like he's like a fish out of water.
They should put a couple more names that have a little bit more steam going for them, rather than like, oh hey, if you don't watch 205 Live, then you're probably not going to know who these guys are. They need more guys that like are so universally known, and then incorporate some of those other guys on the main card.
What they have managed to do, which I'll give them credit for, is that they've made it so when Neville does drop the title, it's going to feel important. He's been a good enough champion where it's going to actually mean something to whoever beats him.
It's not like TJ Perkins.
Well, because that was a hot potato belt too for a while.
Or Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot Rich Swann was the champion.
But it was cool because like he's like a nice guy. He's very likable. Like just
Rich Swann was one of the guys at the time when they didn't have any.
And he's good in ring.
That the fans gravitated towards the most. He was the most over cruiserweight at that point.
I like him if he doesn't talk a lot.
Yeah, his promos are
terrible. I can't get.
He's one of the few people that not only are his promos not good, but they really take away from him as a competitor.
Yeah,
I like him when he's voiceless.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, Tobin.
He needs to buy in.
So
also a good point.
So in other news this week, we do have, coming soon, the re-debut of Emma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Emma.
Yeah.
No more Emmalina.
Tell me,
She dropped
what do you think of that one?
Well, it's interesting because I don't get it, which is fine because at least it's gonna be whatever it is gonna be a surprise.
There was that unpredictability thing. Like,
I don't know. Like I would love to sit here and just talk about it, I don't even know.
I
just don't
Which
know.
is the most
Is
fair.
there anything to say about it? Like,
It wasn't even on our list. It just came to me, and I said this needs to be brought
Yeah,
up.
it does
Hey,
have
so
to be
Tobin,
brought
what about Emma, huh? What do you think of that?
So she needs to buy in. That's it.
So,
That should have been the bonus question.
I'm cutting that whole section.
no. Emma stays.
Right.
Emma stays. So,
She's out.
the other thing too, and we didn't. This wasn't something we went over. The New Day now have become like the focus group for products that the WWE is thinking is creating now, which is hilarious. Like
Genius.
I don't know. I find it really interesting. I was talking to a buddy of mine at work today that was just like, "Oh, I wish they would just split them up," but
No.
I don't know. I think
yet.
it's great.
Are they?
They're not stale yet.
No, I don't think they're stale.
You can get bored with them for like maybe a couple weeks, but then they come up with something new that kind of, all right, yeah, I'm drawn in again, and then maybe bored again. But the fact of the matter is, they're not like so blatantly stale where it's like everyone as a whole is just like, all right, guys, we got to break these guys up. Why are they continuing the three? No, it's still pretty fresh enough, and they're always reinventing something.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think they need to be broken up. I didn't know if they were so much as a focus group for stuff that WWE wanted to do, or if they were just pushing themselves as a product so much that like, because they ain't doing much else. I always thought it was just them pushing themselves as a product.
Well, I think, like the Bootios thing, right?
Yeah, I don't think
they started
WWE
making a joke
was
about
thinking
that.
about
WWE was
cereal.
like, "Oh, let's make the cereal."
Yeah.
And for $14 a box.
Yeah.
And that's why.
But yeah, so like it worked.
But
and
now I think it is driven.
Now
by
they're the
WWE
marketing
a little bit.
plan. It went from like an accidental like, yeah, I guess we'll work with that to like,
which is
you're our
hilarious
guys
because CM Punk advocated for ice cream bars for like a fucking year.
now. Where
Never got
are
'em.
my WWE ice cream bars?
Yeah, and now the New Day's gonna get their own line of ice cream, presumably.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of funny.
New Day Pops.
So,
New Day Pops. Or
I love
what was it, the Pop Cycle?
Oh yeah, I like that. That was
Brilliant.
good.
Those guys
I
are
love,
genius.
I love that
They really
Graves
are.
is going on. He's
Fucking
like, they have a receptacle for a product that doesn't exist.
excellent. Graves is so like blatantly. Oh, I love that shit. So just to add on to that, just real quick before we move on, is as much as I love the role that New Day is playing, I really hope that they continue to at least have matches because, in their own respect, they're all obviously, especially Kofi and Big E is fantastic, right? They're phenomenal wrestlers. They're really fun to watch, and Xavier has a lot of tricks under his sleeve too, and you can really put on quite the show when he's given the opportunity. I hope that these guys that like really take good care of themselves and are fantastic in ring, I hope they're not just like thrown by the wayside because they're like, the little gimmicky guys that like, oh no, we have a little segment for you today, but you're not wrestling like all the time.
Hope he doesn't fall into
Don't do that.
Santino Morello territory.
I would have
Yeah.
loved them to have a triple threat at WrestleMania. You don't have to break them up. Just maybe like, out of sportsmanship, because those guys are all great. What else? They're just
that'd
gonna be the
be-
host, so
And how fresh was
They'll get some
interesting would that
gimmick,
be
like
to,
somebody will come
for
out.
the first time ever.
yeah, have a triple threat.
Have a triple threat between those guys, and it's like at Mania, so you're like, it'll definitely like. You're not gonna want to go take a piss break for that. That's gonna be like, well, what's gonna happen? What's the dynamic gonna be like? So that'll definitely draw.
They don't do enough of that. I mean, that was kind of cool about the Sasha Bailey match this week was that in the story they are still friends.
Yeah.
So just to see a match like that, we don't get a lot of matches where it's like face versus face,
Strictly
like of
competition,
the
right.
level of like Ultimate Warrior Hogan, where that was like there's the ultimate challenge, we don't
Sure,
get that.
yeah, it's not, exactly. It's not like friendly competition kind of thing where it's just like, oh, let's see who's the better man or who can outsmart the other person or whatever. It always has to be feud.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like you, you don't like me, we're gonna settle this.
Or else.
Or I said or.
I think because the way it is, there's no reason for most people to have a friendly competition. Like if you're gonna go out there, like you said before,
for sure.
weeks ago, you have to have a personal
Feuds work.
grudge or.
I just laid the carpet and you shit all over it.
Sorry.
But I think they should throw it in, maybe sprinkle it a little bit more.
Yeah, just
fresh.
once in a while, because like that is a novel idea for
Yeah,
Mania.
I agree. I like
Would
it.
just be a cool, like, oh, the New Day's not on the card. Like, who do we have to face? Well, everybody's in. Like, you could spin it really quick, easily. And it would be a compelling match.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit had like a friendly a best of 7 match.
Who's Chris Benoit?
Oh, whatever. All right.
So in other news, we had it was a big week because last week, right before we did the episode, it was announced that the Hardys were no longer with TNA.
Yep.
Since they debuted at the whatever that Manhattan event
Mayhem
was.
in Manhattan
There you
6
go.
For Ring of Honor.
So they debuted there.
They won their belts,
They
too.
won the belts,
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
which is like ridiculous. Cause
Talk about a signing bonus. Hey,
they still have the TNA tag belts.
They don't anymore.
No, they physically have the belts.
They
though.
made new champions, but I think they still have the belts.
They still have the
No,
belts.
I'm pretty
No,
sure.
there was a tweet that went out.
Really?
Somebody tweeted them about the new champions, and Matt Hardy was like, "Oh, those are toy championships. We still have the belts, and we'll announce what we're doing with them soon."
Oh, because I heard that they got the belts back from them in hand. But maybe I'm mistaken.
from what he's saying, they still have them.
For those of you that are
You know what?
listening,
Matt Hardy
feel free
is-
to make a comment if you know the true story.
Matt
We wanna
Hardy
get
is
the
a
input.
reliable source of information, so
So, I mean, he said it in character,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing they still have the belts, which is kind of funny.
yeah.
So, and then we also had Bully Ray,
Yeah.
or
Debut.
Bubba Ray.
Bully's back. Now, is he going to have sex with Hogan's daughter again?
I actually forgot about that. That was a good one.
Wait, wait, wait,
That was,
That's
that
a
was,
good-
do you remember the time he had sex with that girl? That was a good one.
wait, that was the storyline?
Yeah.
In TNA.
How did I miss that one?
If
was
you
a
could see
gem.
Matty McKeegs' eyes right now,
Yeah,
How did I miss
wide
that
open.
one?
He was like, this is before he was he ended up being, they had like the Aces and Eights had like a mysterious leader
Yeah.
for months.
Yep.
And it was him, eventually it was him.
Yeah.
But you didn't know it was him, and
People thought it was Devon for a
and he
while.
was dating Hogan's daughter. So there was like a big alliance between Hogan's daughter, and Bubba Ray. And then Bubba Ray turned on Hogan, and then was like, "Yeah, I turned on you, and I've been banging your daughter." It was. It's like,
You're not wrong.
Amazing.
They did that in WWE though.
it's Randy Orton.
I was at the match where they did with Randy Orton, and he's sitting there. He's like grabbing Brooke by the ass or something, and then Hogan came around the back of the car and he RKO'd him on the trunk and
I
stuff.
forgot about Randy.
You get to grab that guy's daughter's ass and then RKO him
And-
immediately.
I bet it's all Holt's
Hogan-
idea, too. He's like, you guys know what?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck my daughter. That'd be good.
Hogan was like, "You stay away from her, brother."
Yeah, as long as you're not black, that's fine by me.
Just a little wink.
I forgot about that. I forgot.
That was Hogan's last WWE match. That was in Boston, SummerSlam 06. And then the match was, his exit from the ring was longer than the match. He sat there for 20 minutes.
I was at that one. Yep.
And remember there was the guy with the Hulk Hogan tattoo on his back and he kept smacking him in the back and stuff. So, that was big news this week. I don't typically watch Ring of Honor, and now I kind of want to because Broken Matt Hardy's there. So it's
This Friday, the 10th,
That's good
is
for
going to
them.
be their 15th anniversary, and the Hardys are going to go against the Young Bucks and Roppongi Vice in a street fight. A three-way
so
street fight.
that thing they had before Mania is like null and void now, right?
What?
Because remember they were going to do that match, that cross promotion match.
Yeah,
It's
it was a way to hype it up. I think they'll still do it. I think they'll absolutely still have a match between just the two.
It's
of
not
them.
as interesting now.
Because this
as it
one is a
was.
triple threat, and the one where they won the titles, it was after a match that the Young Bucks already had.
What is it called? The Bucks of Youth.
The Bucks of Youth, yeah.
The Bucks of Youth.
Those are the guys that
honor
kind of
ring.
look like the Rockers a little bit.
The Rockers meet the Hardys and everything
Combined, yeah.
Old school Hardys.
So and then TNA had a bunch of title shifts too, right?
Yeah,
to kind of make up for the exodus.
Yeah, Alberto El Patron is the new world champ.
Does he just not give a shit?
They
about
just-
it? Honestly, do you think he just goes? Think he just goes wherever they will give him money?
He
He's
just
like,
literally is in it strictly for fuck money.
he actually like
Straight up. Like,
He
doesn't
does
give a
not
shit
care, no.
about any kind of like allegiance. There's
He
no
just-
like. He was just, hey, who's gonna give me some good ass fuck money? And like,
He owns
hey,
his
give me the belt while you're
own.
at it.
He owns his own MMA company also, and he like a promotion where he's
He's got restaurants down.
yeah he has restaurants down to, and he He doesn't give a shit. He does whatever.
Every time I read about him, he's always like fighting someone because they
Getting
like
stabbed.
looked at Paige's ass. So he
Fucking
Yeah,
Paige
attacked
and shit.
someone.
He's definitely his own boss, and he's like, we'll get into a scuffle. He'd be like, I'm not gonna take that shit.
Yeah.
I'm a grown ass man. I'm not gonna take that shit. And
Show
just
some
goes on.
respect.
Paige's poppy.
Now pay me my fucking money.
If you ever do listen to him in interviews, though, he's very respectable and
Yeah.
intelligent. He's a super smart dude. So I'm sure he's just going where the money is. He's
The
smart.
best was what's that guy? What's the wrestling shoots that I kind of always send videos.
Like RF video.
Well, one of them was like Kevin
High
Nash
spots.
drinking red wine.
Yes, those
and,
are
like,
RF video or high spots.
Yeah, he's hilarious. That guy.
I saw him do one, and he gets like mad, like not mad, but like he's very like almost formal because they were like, "Oh, tell us which divas in the locker room fucked everyone," and he
he's
like was
that's
like,
disrespectful.
"Yeah," he's like, "I'm not ever talking."
He's
about
like,
it."
this
Yeah.
is not.
He just knows he's gonna get heat for this.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be aired and people are gonna hear it and he's gonna get heat for it. And I was like,
But everyone else does it. All the other people like
Oh, Xbox
Some
loves
people
it.
get
Xbox,
does it.
Hornswoggle.
And there's a lot of people that like they don't give a fuck about the burned bridges. They don't give a shit.
Xbox will tell you who everybody fucked.
What is Hornswoggle? And you know what the best part
He's
is?
in TNA now. Hornswoggle is in TNA now.
Xbox and TNA?
No,
Oh,
Hornswoggle.
I wish Xbox was in it.
X-Pac is in better standing with WWE than China is, and she's dead. Consider that.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
I mean,
Remember when he was
on
on the
paper-
radio show and he started telling all this shit about China and she called him drunk? You remember that?
No, that was so toxic, dude. That was like, it just gave you like the heebie-jeebies of like, fuck, man, why is this girl going down? Like she was a shit show in that like what was that TV show she was on? Like the reality.
The Surreal Life.
The surreal life, yeah.
And then Sean was a part of it, and like he was like bringing her down, and they probably were both using and whatnot. It was like. It was such a fucking train wreck. It's like, damn it! Like
They basically say that Triple H is the whole reason for her whole like entire.
I mean, he did
downfall.
cheat on her with Stephanie, supposedly, hypothetically.
and then like
They're
wasn't
saying.
she out on injury or something like that? And they're like, oh, we're not gonna need you back.
Yeah.
So thanks anyways. Bye.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, what?
And you can't be in the Hall of Fame because you did porn, but Sonny does live cam shows. Like,
And
Like-
and
I
we've
wonder
all-
if the
and
whole
we've
Hall of
all
Fame thing
seen-
has more to do
We've
with...
all seen where Mickey James' fingers have been. Like in
We
depth.
all have seen what Mickey
I
James
about when Triple H was like, I have a daughter, and if she goes online and looks up China, I don't want to see in that.
I'll tell you what. Kids at home, if you could, Google Mickey James images and turn safe mode off. All right.
what would Triple
And
H's
then
daughter?
tell me about Hall of Fame.
If they saw the video of
Tell her where her
Triple H,
fingers have been.
Triple H climbing in the casket in the funeral home.
Oh
naked,
my god.
With the Kane mask on.
Everyone blames
Oh,
Kane
Kane
for that. Everyone's
Vick.
like, oh, Kane was in the worst. That was a Triple H thing. People forget.
Do you guys know the story behind the Katie Vick storyline?
Do you hear this stuff? Wait, it was in a real funeral home and people like walked in on that. Do you ever-
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But the way the Katie Vick storyline happened was Patrice O'Neal, a comedian who's passed away.
Yeah, he was great. too.
He was a huge WWE fan, and he got hired for a very brief stint to work in creative, and like I think it was like a trial period of like a month or two, and it just turned out the schedule was too much, and he didn't want to stay on because he wanted to do stand-up comedy, and he couldn't do it. But anyway, while he was there, I guess he was in a boardroom meeting with all the creative writers, and Vince came in screaming how he wanted like fresh and new storylines, and he was yelling and nobody could come up with anything. So he was just like wanted to be a smartass, and he came up with the Katie Vick storyline off the top of his head. And Vince McMahon goes, "That's what I'm talking about, pal." And he was sitting there, he's like, "Are you fucking crazy?" And they did it.
What was it? So
That's
what
your
was it? It
business.
was like Kane had a high school girlfriend that he killed in a car accident by accident.
Some cheerleader.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he decided to go into her funeral and.
And then Triple H
this was
stole the
all-
mask.
No, that was
Ruthless
the
aggression era?
room. No, this was
just
still
post
just
Attitude?
yeah. This was This was 2000. This was the weird area between Attitude and. I don't know. That's weird. It's weird. WWE is weird, man.
No, let's go
That's
down
what
that
I'm
road.
talking about, pal.
You know what I saw a video of which is that's not funny, but it's funny as that. I saw it was like the Big Show's father died. He guess he didn't die in real
Oh
life. but
man.
the boss man put a chain to the Big Show's
Oh,
father's
just drove
casket, and Big
then-
Show dies on the
Yes.
casket, and they're riding
And
to
like-
a cemetery.
Yes.
Big Show's
No,
on-
they were running out of the cemetery because Big Show stole the casket from the funeral.
Boss Man is
Boss
the
Man.
best storyline.
That was really funny.
Remember
But
Pepper?
Big Show's dad died like 20 years before that. His dad died
Yeah,
as a
like
kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Remember Pepper when he fed him?
Oh,
Al Snow. Oh
That's
my
classic
god.
storyline.
Oh, big boss man. Ridiculous.
Boss Man's the best.
he bought in. He was a.
He was one of the original.
Yeah, one of the
Mayans.
original Mayans.
Changed his gear over and everything.
heel theme, a new heel theme.
Him and the British Bulldog, right?
Oh yeah, British Bulldog bought in, right?
Yeah,
He just wearing jeans for a while.
Jeans.
So, so the other big news this week, which I thought had already happened, but Rick Rude's going to the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, good for him. Long overdue.
So I didn't even I just assumed he was already in.
That's like me. I assumed Vader was in, and I came to my attention that he wasn't, and Vader is not doing too great right now.
It's weird that like some people have been inducted multiple times.
Yeah.
And others
No,
not.
I think Flair's the only
Flair's the only one.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the one I
Flair's
was
2
thinking
times.
of as well. So I'm surprised.
The biggest thing I took away from that, besides, I'm not taking anything away from Rick Rude, but was I was watching when they did the video kind of thing about it on Monday, was they kept showing clips of him with the IC belt and like facing the Warrior for it, and I was like, damn, that title used to like think about that title back then.
Yeah.
That was like almost just as big as
the world title.
Yeah, I think that actually main evented pay-per-views, I want to say.
Yeah,
back
a
then.
couple times. Yeah.
That,
And they booked it really well too.
Yeah, well, Rick Rude never held the world title.
No, he was like he was an IC guy. He had Ultimate Warrior's like wife's face painted on his crotch.
That-
Yeah, dude.
No, it was Jake the Snake.
Oh, Jake the Snake.
That was the best.
He had somebody's wife on
Yeah.
his.
And he had like different pants on, and then he pulled his down, and he had a different like tights on with her face on the crotch. It was ridiculous.
He had like Jake the Snake's face on his ass and his
Yeah.
wife's on his crotch.
Well, what would you do if you went to like a cookout? You know, it's a grown man, and you went to like you didn't really care for the guy, but you loved his wife too, and you wanted him to know about it. So you show up and you're like there, just having a conversation. Like you put down your plate with a burger and dog on it and shit like that. You're like, oh, hold on, and you strip off like to like boxers and shit.
To go in the pool and it's
of his wife's fucking face on his. You just look at him with a straight face, dead in his eyes, like just trying to gauge like what he's thinking.
Let me show her what a real man looks like. But Rick Rude, I think that's great. It's too bad he's not alive.
This Hall of Fame class is really strong.
Yep.
You got the Rock and Roll Express. You got Teddy Long, Kurt Angle. You got Rick Rude.
They still got the celebrity part.
Who's the women's? Oh, Beth Phoenix. All right, I'd say
Beth Phoenix.
who's the
Yeah, I think they maybe have 1 or 2 more because they're gonna have the Connor's Cure one,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna have the celebrity one, which I'm pulling for
Beth
Lenny.
Phoenix Hall of Fame worthy?
It's because she's married to Edge.
That might.
To be fair, I think I wasn't watching WWE at the time. I don't know.
She was good, but she wasn't around that long. She was only around for like 5 years.
Judging from
she was a powerhouse, right?
Yeah.
Strong as shit.
Judging from the video package they showed of her, I imagine she's not modern.
She was like China after China.
China after China. So,
but she wasn't really though because like I don't think she ever fought. I don't think she ever fought like guys or
she was in the
like
Royal
that.
Rumble and eliminated the Great Khali.
I mean, she didn't.
I remember that Rumble,
Jericho
actually. But so she's going in, and we can probably expect 1 or 2 more. So that about does it. But we do have to wrap up, and we have our bonus topic provided by our COO Rich Tobin this week.
The bonus topic is a little complicated, but I was trying to think of how to word it in my head because I thought about how mad everyone is about AJ Styles facing Shane McMahon, and we're like, oh, like what a waste of AJ Styles. We're almost saying.
Absolutely.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, when I was a kid, thinking back of like watching WrestleManias, like I never really thought of it like that. So I was going back watching WrestleManias, and I was like, which one of your favorite people back in the day, if the internet was around back then, would have said it was like a waste? So for mine, it was, I'll give an example, was I watched WrestleMania 9, the one in Vegas, and Shawn Michaels was my favorite wrestler, and he was like faced Tatanka in a weird match, like third on the card, and I was like, if this was around now, I go...
Tatanka was undefeated at the time, though.
It was, but it was just like people would be like, "What a waste of Shawn Michaels!"
Yes.
They put Tatanka and ended in like a double. It was ended in like a double count.
Was Shawn Michaels as popular back then?
Well, he was like the heel Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah,
like,
right.
So I that's just kind of what I was thinking. I was like, what?
I've always liked weirder wrestlers, and watching this, I knew this was a mistake. But he did a good job with it. Bam Bam Bigelow, when he wrestled Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11, I knew was a waste of Bam Bam Bigelow. I love Bam Bam Bigelow. I think he's, to this day, is still one of my favorite big dudes. But he made Lawrence Taylor look really good in that match.
That was actually a terrible WrestleMania. When I think back on it.
It was supposedly like the worst WrestleMania of all time, by popular demand.
The main event I want to say was Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
The main event was Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh, that's right. That was in the
Lawrence
main
Taylor.
event. Yeah.
The title did not get defended in the main event.
Keegan? Mckeegs?
For me, I would say any WrestleMania. I think there's 2 of them. That Yokozuna headline. There was 10, but see, 10 we got Owen and Brett
in the beginning,
which was probably the main event in my eyes.
Yeah, that was a great match.
But we also got Macho Man when he tied. He tied. What do you call it up backstage?
WrestleMania 10 and WrestleMania 17 are my 2 favorites.
10's my favorite.
I love 10 because I loved that. I loved the ladder match, the Macho Man match.
I just, why did Yokozuna? I mean, the belt doesn't even fit him. What was the point of?
Vince needed a big man, and there was no big man at that time.
In all the video games now, they try to portray Yokozuna as like really athletic for his size too. He does flips off the top rope and shit.
No, he wasn't doing flips, but he was athletic for 500 pounds. That dude could go.
When he started off, right? Because he progressively got really, really large.
Yes.
Like scary large.
Yes.
Think about this. Think about how much
he played Rikishi, right?
We complain about stuff all the time now. We all do.
Yeah, of course.
How much would we have complained back in the day if we saw Bret Hart, he carried the company for a year, lost the title to Yokozuna in the main event, and then Hogan immediately came out 30 seconds later
Hogan.
And won the title immediately.
Where was his contract for that title?
Don't know.
He lost his match. Before that, the tag team match, didn't he lose to?
He was like him and Bruce the Barber Beefcake.
Lost to $1 Million Inc. or whatever. What about you? What's it?
Yeah, boy, I can't think of I can't think of a card offhand that makes me feel that way.
No, it's a wrestler.
Just a match.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Right.
Growing up.
I mean, growing up,
The Rock.
I was obviously like The Rock and Stone Cold were I was the top dudes.
What feud did The Rock get in that you didn't like, that you think was a waste of his time?
Maybe the Big Show back. I don't think they did. Only because the scale. I don't know how strong The Rock was. It still was like he was so good in ring, and then you put him up against someone who was so big and slow, like the Big Slow.
Yeah. And
you're like, God damn it! Like I want to see like some action, and not like can he overcome this huge guy? But I was gonna say. Instead of wrestler not being used properly, I would say the result of a match that I thought was horrible was that you bring Sting back and then Triple H beats him. That really bums me out. You may have some serious authority fanboys, WWE fanboys, Triple H, whatever it may be. That would be like, no, that's brilliant. That's exactly what should have happened.
The best part about that match, too, is rules very quickly went out the window. Like literally, the match went from being a standard competition match with standard rules in place. There was no countouts. There was interference. How did that happen?
Do you know the most baffling thing to me in that match was Triple H is fighting. You know who comes out to save him? DX. Sting is fighting. You know who comes out to save him? NWO.
It was all Triple H's friends. That's what I didn't get.
Triple H's friends and Sting was their biggest feud.
Yeah,
why did NWO save him?
No, he was in Red and Black though with Scott Hall. Yeah, and Nash. Well, actually, I don't even know if he was in Wolfpack when Scott Hall was in Wolfpack.
That you're right. That didn't make sense.
I don't think so. I think it was at that time. I think it was Conan, Sting, and Luger.
Yeah, and Macho Man.
And Macho Man. I don't think they were ever. It doesn't make any sense why the NWO came to Sting's aid.
It's all for that fuck money, baby.
Fuck money.
So that's about all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you to the COO for joining us once again.
Yes. Always a pleasure.
And he'll be on every now and again, especially as we head into Mania. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, we're on iTunes, we're on Podbean. Share, subscribe, hit us with a 5-star rating, and anything less than that we're not interested in. And
also on Facebook and Twitter.
Comment.
We're on Facebook. I keep forgetting we got the Twitter thing.
Yeah, I'm not good with Twitter. I'm trying my best here. I don't know nothing about Twitter.
Our goal is to get Virgil on this one day.
The goal is to get Virgil. among others.
Our goal
Him
is to
first.
actually get some conversation started.
Virgil
in
came
the
out that
Facebook
top
community.
We should have a Virgil topic. That should have been like the question of the week. Favorite Virgil moment.
Maybe
Our
maybe
goal
next
is to have Virgil and Jim Cornette on the show. We made it.
at the same
Let's
time.
let's actually also pose that question to the fans. That Tobin brought up the mystery question was who is your favorite wrestler and what was their most underutilized match? We want to hear back from you on Facebook on that.
Please.
So hit us up in the comments section. Thank you guys for listening again, and we will see you next week. Next week I'll be doing that one. The week after I'm out on authority business.
Okay.
So
Authority business.
all right, thank you guys.
Peace out, y'all.
Later.
Bye.